Welcome Kasturians. In this video, we will discuss the concluding part of chapter 3, that is kinship, caste and class. Earlier we have discussed about the traditions in the family, the customs, the various types of family and various types of marriage contracts, that is polyandry, polygamy, exogamy, endogamy. Now we will discuss about social differences. As we have discussed earlier that Dharma Shastras and Dhamma Sutras, they contained rules about the ideal occupations of the four categories or varnas, where the Brahmins, they were supposed to study and teach the Vedas, perform the sacrifices and get sacrifices performed. Kshatriyas were to be engaged in warfare, protect people, administer justice. The Vaishyas or the trading class, they were engaged in agriculture, pastoralism and trade, and the Shudras, they were assigned to serve the three higher varnas, that is the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas. According to Shastras, only Kshatriyas could be the kings. But in reality, the political power was open effectively to anyone who could assemble support and resources and rarely disposed and dependent on birth. The Gautami Putra Shri Satkani was a Brahmin who destroyed this pride of Kshatriyas, and he ordered that there will be no intermarriage amongst members of the four varnas. Jatis, it was a new term which was coined according to the common occupation or profession. So these jatis shared a common occupation or profession. These were sometimes organized into shrenis or guilds, and other categories like Nishada, people who were living in forest. These other categories were beyond the four varnas, and one such famous figure from history is Eklavya, who is supposed to have belonged to the class of Nishada. Sometimes those who were non-Sanskrit speakers or those who spoke non-Sanskrit languages, they were labeled as Malechas, and they were considered inferior in the society, that is they were looked down upon. The Brahminical scriptures, they developed a sharper social divide by classifying certain social categories as untouchables. Those who performed polluting activities like handling corpses and dead animals were designated as Chandals. In the Manusmriti, the duties of Chandals were there. These duties include that they had to live outside the village, they have to use discarded utensils and wear clothes of the dead and ornaments of iron only. These hints of different social realities about Chandals are available from the non-Brahminical texts. Social status and right to property. According to Manusmriti, the paternal estate was to be divided equally amongst the sons after the death of the parents, with a special share for the eldest woman who had no claim in her paternal estate. But they were allowed to retain the gifts they received on occasion of their marriage as Stri Dana. According to the Brahminical texts, apart from gender, the criteria for regulating access to wealth was Varna. The only occupation prescribed for the Shudras was servitude, that is slavery, while a different variety of occupations were listed for men of the first three Varnas. The Buddhists, they recognized the differences in society, but they didn't regarded these as natural or inflexible. In fact, they rejected this idea of claims to status on the basis of birth or on birth origin. There were possibilities as well that situations where men who were generous they were respected while those who were miserly were criticized. The Buddhists they developed an alternative understanding of social inequalities and institutions which were required to regulate the social conflicts. The kingship institution was based on human choice with taxes as a form of payment for the services which were rendered by the king. Now we will discuss about Mahabharata. The Mahabharata is considered to be the great Indian epic. It was basically in Sanskrit with different verses which were spread along the countryside, and it was a well known Sanskritist, that is a well known Sanskrit scholar V.S. Suthankar, that he initiated the task of preparing the critical edition of Mahabharata along with his teammates, and they collected Sanskrit manuscripts of the texts which were written in a different variety of scripts, and thus the first historians they accepted the texts written in Sanskrit as the main source, and later on the works which were done for Mahabharata in Pali and Prakrit and Tamil languages they were also collected, and they were also considered as a source to reconstruct the social histories pertaining to the time when Mahabharata is said to be written. Mahabharata, as it is considered to be one of the greatest epic, it was actually written in Prakrit, Pali or Sanskrit. These written texts they were examined, and after that the authors who have written these texts, attempts were made to identify the authors. The Sanskrit which is used in Mahabharata was much simpler than that which was used for writing the Vedas. The contents of the texts were classified under two broad heads, that is narrative containing the stories and didactic, that is containing the prescription and social norms. This Mahabharata has been written in many phases. It is in fact not the work of a single author, but it is traditionally attributed to Ved Vyasa. It contains vivid descriptions of battles, forests, palaces and settlements, and one of the challenging episodes in Mahabharata is the marriage of Draupadi with 5 Pandavas. This marriage is actually an example of polyandry, that is the term related to a woman having several husbands, and it was among the ruling elites. This was probably prevalent among the ruling elites. This provision was undesirable according to the Brahmanical texts which have been discovered or recovered so far, but it was prevalent in the Himalayan regions, as these regions they suffer from shortage of women. So this custom of women having more than one husband was prevalent in Himalayan region also. The different versions of Mahabharata they were written in a variety of languages like Prakrit, Pali or Sanskrit. The stories from specific regions they were added in the epic, and the story of the epic were often retold in different ways. Writers like Mahashweta Devi they interpret the stories of Mahabharata in a different manner. Now some important terms. Kinship. the person belonging to the same family. Polity, that is the form or process or system of government. Kinfolk, persons sharing a common blood relation. Patrilineal refers to the system of tracing the descent from father or following the lineage, family lineage of father. Matrilineal refers to following of the lineage, family lineage of mother's side. Adi Parvan, it was the first section of the Sanskrit version of Mahabharata. Indra, the god of warfare, reigns and valor, one of the principal deities in the Rig Veda. Dharma Sutras, the text that was composed in Sanskrit by Brahmins. Malechhas, that is, this term was belonging to those who were non-Sanskrit speakers or those who were using non-Sanskrit language, and it was the Shakas who were the Central Asian people and who migrated and settled in the northwest part of subcontinent. Majjhima Nikaya, it is a Buddhist text and it forms a part of dialogue between a king named Avantiputta or Avantiputra and disciple of Buddha named Kachana. Gotras, people belonging to same kind and same varna. Shrenis, these were the unions of craftsmen and traders in ancient India and they were also called guilds. Chandals, the untouchables of the ancient India who did menial works. And Mahasamata, it means the great elect, that is a person who was chosen by the whole people.